Welcome back to our conversation about the challenges of immigrant churches. Today we want to focus a little bit more on the senior leadership in the church.
We need to know that when we look at the younger generation and tell them that you are the church of the future, I don't agree with this, because they are the today church. Maybe they are the leaders of tomorrow, but they are considered part of our today and yesterday church. So this is very crucial, and leaders doesn't mean, as we mentioned before, leaders doesn't mean helpers to give us the opportunity as adults to have a quiet service on Sunday.
Yeah, I've heard this from Baba for a long time of you are the leaders, and it's been drilled into our age group that we are going to be leaders, but it's so hard for me as one of those people who's been called to be a leader to see the people who are my age, who are around my age, come and take some leadership roles. But like we've talked about last time of yes, they take leadership roles, but then soon afterwards they're burnt out and they leave. And I think again it comes back to the point that in our present situation of being an immigrant church, our youth and our young adults do not feel, as they're growing up, that they are being taken care of, and that their needs which are different than the needs of the first generation, and even when they were younger, they're different than our needs now. They're not being met, and the culture is not relevant to what they're hearing and seeing out in their schools and in their jobs.
I believe that the key word here, and I don't mean something negative, but the key word here is fear. Fear that they will leave the church, so we need to be overprotective, or fear that the leader, or if we invite someone to be the pastor of the youth or whatever, that he will take the younger generation and disappear. It happens, yes, and it happened, and it happens, and it will happen. But this doesn't mean just to ignore it. If we just ignore it, the problem will ignore us, hoping that if we ignore it and be silent about it, that the problem would be silent about us. No, we need to analyze and think and pray, how can we take this potential problem and solve it and make the younger generation real, true, strong, powerful leaders in our church.
And part of what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to take some of the different models that churches have used, some of the immigrant churches have used, and what has been written about in some of the literature around this topic, and see, okay, there are some things that many churches have tried, and maybe they are less successful than others. I don't want to get into those specifics right now, but in future conversations, we will dive into different models that have been used, because some of them haven't worked. And the unfortunate news is that we don't know that they haven't worked in other places, so we just keep doing them, and we keep doing them. And now the question is, okay, what can we do, and how can we start preparing as both the elder leaders and the younger leaders, and how can we prepare our hearts for conversations that might be difficult, because these conversations are not easy, but how can we prepare ourselves for these conversations so that we can first solve the conflict that sometimes goes unspoken, and then after that begin to think, okay, how can we use a model at our church to take it to a next level of, yes, we are united, and your needs are met and our needs are met at the same time. So we'll catch you next time at our next episode. Thanks for tuning in.